Today I am going to show you the final moments of the final of Freestyle Chess World Championship. After 2 games, the score is 1-1, and this is the game 3, and after this I'll show you the game 4 as well. So in the game 3, the Caruana is completely winning the game at this moment, but you know what actually happened in the result? You can just see this and you will surprise how Caruana played and how Magnus is GOAT and how Magnus converts this game.
Let that survive. It's coming in with e7 if the knight moves away.
30 seconds.
Ooh, no time on the clock either.
Fabiano looks so calm. He knows. He knows now.
Calm on the surface, but probably bubbling underneath right now on the precipice of taking a full point advantage over Magnus Carlsen going into a final game. Heart rate to match as well, 139.
But 15 seconds, Fabi. For Magnus even. He takes the rook.
Ooh, now is a good moment. Queen takes is no longer so good. Queen takes, there will be a simple queen trade, and after pawn to d5 check, the black king will be driven away from its knight. Fabiano will have an endgame, up a bishop. The queen goes back though. Oh, a new angle, beautiful move from Fabiano. Game over. Look at the black queen.
Yep, classy touch by Fabiano here.
He's fighting, he gives a check, trying to create some chaos. He just captures back, calm and cool, and now the queen's about to step up.
She can choose where she steps. This check looks most natural.
But the knight's coming, David. If there's no check, check, checkmate, black's got some counterplay chances on the light squares.
Maybe the king's gonna hide literally in the center of the board in front of all of its army on the light squares, protected by a lone bodyguard, the knight.
What a position that would be.
Knight is a king's best friend, and this would be the best time to show that.
Exactly. Still praying for a miracle, but Magnus, that's a really instructive last pawn sacrifice from him. 2 genius players against each other. He does have checks now, and he does have to keep an eye on this rook, Fabiano. He doesn't have 2 moves here in a row. He needs to coordinate perfectly.
And I think that's exactly what he's calculating. The queen comes in, the most attractive move, give a check. What happens if Magnus steps up in the center? And Fabi, it's not clear if he's finding a way forward there. Game's not over till it's not checkmate, you know? Especially when the knight and the queen are lining up.
Ooh, even Magnus looked like he was shaking a bit there.
Oh, yeah.
The nerves jangling.
Ooh, there it is.
Yep.
What a
King to
position.
d4 check. King jumps forward.
Okay, what a position. King on d5. The sole piece at the center of the board. Fighting against the majors.
Rook getting a little bit more involved now.
Big threat, pawn moving forward.
Very calm move, very strong move from Fabiano there, just joining his rook with the other attackers, and the black queen comes in.
David, if Magnus saves this one.
How did he survive this long? Fabiano must be getting frustrated.
I
Level
would
on the
have
clock.
seen everything.
He can still force a draw, but he wants more than that, of course. A check would drive the black king back, and they could repeat.
Yeah, 3 options for checks, right? I could check with my pawn and my queen in 2 different ways.
Oh my god, but now Fabi's got 20 seconds as well.
The black king is hiding. The black king just needs 1 or 2 more moves, and it's going to slink away over into the corner. He does give a check.
And it's the white king that's feeling a bit bare suddenly, with a2 hanging.
Yeah, but he forces the king back out into the more precarious side of the board.
All right, do not repeat. Do not repeat.
Well, maybe repeat once for time.
Okay, just once.
How has he survived this long, Magnus? He's got his first threat of the whole game. Queen takes pawn. Fabi's running out of ideas, though.
I have a bad feeling for Fabi here right now. He's not finding his way forward. What is the way forward?
The only winning move is to go back and repeat the position and then find something new on the next move.
My goodness!
Advantage is somewhat gone, still looking good. He does defend this pawn, but now there's no threats.
He's back. Fabi's queen is on the defense right now. This gives Magnus 1 move to launch an offense.
He'll want to move his rook somewhere, anywhere. Just for the first time in this game. He's going back with his king. He's hiding.
It's the clocks. He's playing against Fabi's time as well. Gets across, but ignore that. The next move, rook's coming in. Rook e8.
This could turn. Like, if there's no knockout, if the black rook comes in and black keeps the grip on the light squares, it could easily turn. The pawn steps towards e4. Advantage gone.
I cannot watch this. This is unbelievable. How has Magnus survived this and turned it around?
He gets his rook into the game. Finally, the dead rook for so long is involved.
he finds the trick. Fabiano thought he could continue advancing. E5 would be an almost winning move if it weren't for black just taking that pawn off the board, and the white rook would have been undefended on the 4th rank. This is such a double-edged position now. Fabiano looks so frustrated. Magnus can start hitting the white rook.
And the point is that there are no more repetitions available for Fabiano either. Even if the bar says it's level, a draw is far way off. This is some sort of a dynamic, balanced position. Very difficult to play. I think give up the bishop for the knight if you get the opportunity.
Yeah, that knight is just too strong as a defender. He needs to get it off the board. But Magnus has one move. Does he save the knight? Can he move it? Or does he have something better?
How do you move it? The b7 pawn's so tender as well.
Ah, the only square would be this one, but looks clumsy.
Only two options that hold the bar at level here for Magnus Carlsen. Rook to f8, queen to e6. He finds rook to f8.
Keeps the bishop honest. The bishop taking the knight now would land a devastating check for Magnus.
And not just that, he's threatening the rook coming onto the 3rd rank, hitting the c3 pawn as well.
Oh, and
Oh my
Fabiano's blundered. Magnus has got to keep the queens on. And there we
Queen
go.
F1.
Magnus has got to keep the queens on. And there we
Queen
go.
f1. It's instant. It's an instant find for Magnus Carlsen.
Wow, Fabiano, suddenly there's a nasty knight check in the air. He can't stop it. His rook is suddenly offside and loose, undefended. Magnus knows he's turned this around.
Fabiano Caruana is about to get checkmated.
I don't know how many times we've said it. Magnus Carlsen will
That's-
rarely ever give you a second
That's it.
chance. And if you don't close the door on him in that moment, you only need to give him one chance for him to take it across the line. Mate and 7 on the board. And Fabiano knows it. He gives up in the final moments. Magnus Carlsen from a dead position to winning in round number 3. Look at the face. He can barely believe it himself.
What did we just witness? That was crazy. Fabiano, I think we all were rooting for him there to deliver the final blow. He played a perfect game, just couldn't find the finishing touch. And Magnus, how often does he do this? The best defender in the world survives an almost hopeless position.
And how crushing for Fabiano Caruana on the other side.
Speechless. You know, you said it. Magnus didn't go looking for miracles. He created it on the board. It wasn't about defending. He checkmated Fabi's king. His own king at the center of the board. Looked like seconds away from losing that game. Unbelievable how Magnus Carlsen finds the...
Tactics, and Magnus has to calculate with only 20 seconds left.
His best option is still to find Tanya's move, knight to d3.
Ooh, that is difficult now. That is based on the fact that black isn't actually threatening to take this pawn, since the black rook needs to defend its bishop, getting the knight out of dodge, out of the way there. Difficult, difficult. He's going for the bishop instead. More natural. That's a check.
I like it. King goes back.
The wrong way.
What should he have done instead?
He needed to go the other way. That would have been difficult.
He's come up to c6.
Oh, 5 seconds for Magnus though.
Magnus takes a pawn. That loses the advantage, but does force more exchanges. Magnus just wants a rook endgame that he can control. A draw is enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, everything's going to come off the board. The bishop and the knight then, and then that pawn on f6 with a check will fall, but it will be enough to get Magnus Carlsen the draw. And Fabi knows it. That's why he keeps thinking. 8 seconds now. Takes the bishop. Will take the knight next.
Takes the pawn. He'd rather fight a pawn down, but at least with the imbalance of a bishop versus a knight, he could have taken the knight. It would have ended in a draw most likely.
Magnus Carlsen, up a pawn.
Where's he going with the rook? Is he going to go behind?
6 seconds, he keeps thinking. He might even just offer a draw here.
Yeah, he wants to play. He wants that world title so badly. That's a good move as well. But now Magnus is just going to simplify, trade all the pawns off the board. This might be the last stages of this world championship match. Fabiano knows it. He takes a pawn. He keeps his bishop alive. But Magnus is clearing the board, cleaning it up, going for the draw.
Yeah. And still with a pawn advantage at the end of all of that.
The knight can come back around. There we go. Again, professional from Magnus. So close now. It's their one last chance.
Pawn. Trade that one back with the rook, or with the knight rather. Rook slides up for a check, cleaning up that a3 pawn.
There we go. The bishop drops. It's going to be a dead drawn endgame.
There it is. In the battle against Fabiano Caruana, Magnus comes out on top and takes his 21st world title. The king claims another crown. Magnus Carlsen is your 2026 FIDE Freestyle Chess World Champion.
Just incredible. And it wasn't easy, but Magnus snatched it. He took it when it mattered the most, how he came back in round 3, how he never lost control in round 4. And at the end of it, Magnus Carlsen always arrives.
A miracle made in game number 3 to save his chances at that 21st world title. And as you